If you feel lost in this world, not confused but deeply displaced, listen carefully. This feeling is not a weakness, and it is not something to be fixed. It is often the first sign that awareness has outgrown the structures around it. Highly aware people don't feel lost because they lack direction. They feel lost because the old directions no longer make sense. What once motivated others now feels hollow. What once felt normal now feels strangely artificial. Highly aware people see beneath the surface of things. They notice contradictions in society, in relationships, in ambition, and even in themselves. They can no longer blindly accept roles, systems, or beliefs just because everyone else does. This seeing creates distance, not arrogance, but clarity. And clarity can feel isolating in a world built on distraction. When illusion collapses, there is often nothing familiar left to hold on to. Most people are anchored by identity, routine, and social validation. Highly aware people begin to question these anchors. They start to see that identity is constructed, that routine can be mechanical, and that validation is fragile. When these supports weaken, there is a sense of floating, not grounded in the old world, but not yet rooted in something deeper. This in-between space is uncomfortable, but it is also necessary. Awareness removes the comfort of unconscious belonging. You may still participate in society, but inwardly you no longer belong to its madness. You see competition where others see purpose. You see fear where others see ambition. You see conditioning where others see choice. And because you see it, you cannot unsee it. That seeing creates a quiet separation. Highly aware people often feel exhausted by conversations that revolve around status, gossip, or endless noise. Not because they feel superior, but because these exchanges feel empty. They crave depth, honesty, and silence, yet the world rewards speed, image, and performance. This mismatch creates inner tension. You begin to ask yourself, where do I fit now? And often, there is no immediate answer. The sense of being lost is amplified because awareness dissolves borrowed goals. You may realize that many of your ambitions were never truly yours. They were inherited from culture, family, or fear. When those ambitions fall away, a void appears. This void feels unsettling, but it is not a problem. It is space. That space is unfamiliar because most people are never alone with themselves. They fill every moment with noise, distraction, or purpose. Highly aware people can no longer do that convincingly. They feel the emptiness instead of running from it. And this makes them feel out of sync with the world. But this emptiness is not meaningless. It is unconditioned. Being lost is often confused with being broken. But highly aware people are not broken. They are between identities. The old self no longer fits, and the new self has not fully formed. Society has no language for this stage, so it labels it confusion, depression, or failure. But inwardly, something far more intelligent is happening. Awareness also brings sensitivity. You feel more deeply, notice more sharply, and absorb more subtly. The world can feel overwhelming because you are no longer numb. You sense the aggression beneath politeness, the fear beneath success, the sadness beneath laughter. This can make everyday life feel heavy. But sensitivity is not weakness. It is perception without filters. Highly aware people struggle with pretending. Pretending to care about what doesn't matter. Pretending to chase what feels empty. Pretending to be fine with systems that feel misaligned. This refusal to pretend can isolate you socially and professionally. But it also preserves integrity. And integrity often walks alone. There is also a deep loneliness that comes from seeing others trapped in patterns they don't question. You want to shake them awake, but you realize that awareness cannot be forced. This creates compassion mixed with helplessness. You learn that everyone must see in their own time, and that realization can feel heavy. Awareness removes certainty. You no longer cling to beliefs just because they are comforting. You see that many truths are provisional, contextual, and fragile. This uncertainty can feel destabilizing, but it also frees you from dogma. You become open, curious, and alive to what is. Highly aware people often feel like outsiders even in familiar places. Home doesn't feel the same. Success doesn't feel the same. Relationships change. This can feel like loss. But what is actually happening is refinement. Life is stripping away what no longer resonates. The world often rewards conformity, not clarity. Highly aware people don't easily conform because they see the cost. They sense that fitting in often requires self-betrayal. And once you see that, you cannot unsee it. So you stand apart, not proudly, but honestly. And honesty can feel lonely. There is also fear in awareness. Fear of not knowing what comes next. Fear of standing without labels or guarantees. Fear of trusting something invisible. This fear is natural, but it is not a sign to go backward. It is a threshold. Being lost is not the end. It is the clearing. It is the moment when false maps stop working. It is the pause before a deeper alignment forms. But alignment does not arrive on demand. It unfolds as understanding deepens, and that requires patience. Highly aware people must learn to rest in not knowing, to stop searching for immediate meaning, to allow clarity to emerge naturally. This goes against everything society teaches. But awareness has its own intelligence. It does not rush. Eventually, something shifts. The lost feeling softens. Not because you found answers, but because you stopped demanding them. You begin to live from observation rather than expectation, from presence rather than projection. And in that, a quiet sense of belonging emerges. You realize that you were never meant to fit into the world as it is. You were meant to see it clearly. And seeing clearly often feels like being lost before it feels like being free. But that freedom is real, grounded, and unshakable. So if you feel lost right now, don't rush to fix it. Stay with it. Observe it. Let it teach you. Because the people who feel most lost are often the ones closest to seeing truth. And if this spoke to something deep inside you, stay with the next reflection. Because what comes after being lost is not confusion, but clarity that cannot be taken away. One of the quiet realizations that comes with awareness is that not everyone is meant to walk with you forever. As perception deepens, resonance changes. You may find yourself outgrowing environments, friendships, or even versions of yourself that once felt essential. This is not betrayal, it is evolution. Yet evolution feels like loss before it feels like truth. And this contributes to the sense of being unanchored. Highly aware people often sense time differently. They are less rushed by the future and less haunted by the past. This detachment can make them seem distant or unmotivated to others, but inwardly, there is a deep listening taking place. They are not waiting for something to happen. They are attending to what is, and that inward attention removes them from the world's constant urgency. There is also a growing discomfort with superficial success. Achievements that once seemed meaningful begin to feel incomplete. Awareness asks different questions. At what cost? Aligned with what? Serving whom? These questions do not have quick answers, and until they are lived, not answered, the sense of being lost remains. But this loss is honest. Another reason highly aware people feel lost is because they no longer live from borrowed certainty. They stop leaning on ideologies, titles, or identities for security. Without these crutches, life feels raw and exposed. But in that exposure, something authentic begins to breathe. What feels like groundlessness is actually freedom without structure. Finally, awareness reveals that the world itself is lost in many ways. Lost in noise, speed, and endless wanting. To see this clearly is painful, but it also liberates you from blaming yourself. You are not lost because something is wrong with you. You feel lost because you are no longer asleep. If you stay with this awareness, without escaping, without forcing direction, clarity will arise on its own terms. And when it does, you won't feel the need to belong anywhere. You'll realize you were never meant to find your place in the world, only to see it clearly and live truthfully within it.